Hello, I'm Wayward. The game is Dawn of War 2 Retribution Elite Mod. The map is Caldera's Refinery, and the players, starting at the north end of the map, is ab0ba, our Lictor Alpha Tyrannid army, and at the south end, already kind of teleporting up into the middle to cause some havoc, is Broodwich, who has chosen the Warp Spyder Exarch. I actually really like this map. This was one of the first RTS maps that I remember seeing that really kind of blew me away, that actually kind of looked representational. It's always something I really liked about Dawn of War 2, is that it was one of the first like really big strategy games that I felt like did a good job making the maps actually kind of look like places. Anyway, ab0ba has 2 Termagant broods out, providing some ranged backup to the starting Hormagaunt squad, and the other way around, Broodwich has a Howling Banshee squad as a melee support to their starting ranged Guardian squad. Right away, Broodwich is going for VPs, capturing the south and central VP with the Warp Spyder Exarch before heading over to grab some additional power. And ab0ba has gone for requisition first, grabbing his natural VP and going for actual resource points. Those Guardians retreated, and they had to retreat, of course, through the Lictor Alpha, which did additional model damage. So, well played there by the Lictor Alpha. And the Guardians are off the map. As a third squad, we have a Guardian weapon team out for suppression and anti-infantry damage. ab0ba getting the power node coming into the center to cap with the Lictor, and then those 2 Termagants are coming across the map to capture, I believe, this power or the requisition point here. A little bit of damage on that Warp Spyder Exarch, and not really putting any real threat to him at the moment. Of course, the Warp Spyder Exarch is a master of positional play, very, very hard to pin down, very, very hard to kill. The Lictor Alpha with stealth and the ability to pull enemy units out of position is also really good at messing with the opponent. So we'll have to see how both players end up using these to get the drop on each other. The Hormagaunts immediately suppressed. One of the Termagant squads suppressed as well. Really bad engage for our Tyrannid player, Lictor Alpha. That's how we say things here. Lictor Alpha being circumspect, trying to get around behind this Guardian weapon team, catches it out of position, trying to hurt it from the rear. Nice slow on those Howling Banshees, preventing them from closing the way they want to. This Termagant squad being good lord. This Termagant squad getting very low. Lictor Alpha having a really hard time picking a target, forcing the Howling Banshees off the field, forcing the platform off the field, and then running away himself. Of course, the Warp Spyder Exarch, even though he's very low, is impossible to catch out. A bit of melee here between the Guardians and the Termagants, resulting in the Termagants being forced to flee and very low on health. Guardians now running away. Meanwhile, additional range support in the form of these Rangers with their Pathfinder gear already up and running. Let's see. Hormagaunts back out. This Termagant squad is having to heal up, and then the other Termagant squad coming out to try to capture. Warp Spyder Exarch recapturing the middle. It's fairly even at the moment, 445 to 449 in terms of DPs. Rangers pulling very far forward to capture enemy requisition. Meanwhile, we have these Hormagaunts trying to get some power. Warp Spyder Exarch being chased off by this squad of Termagants. So, let's see, how many hit points does he have? 21 health left. So, just barely kind of got out of there. Meanwhile, we have a Ravener brood out. I think this is a really good choice for ab0ba. We'll have to see what shenanigans they get up to. A really, really bad engage again from ab0ba with those Termagants walking right into the crossfire of 3 squads. Raveners coming forward and chasing off pretty much all of the Eldar at once. So really big win there for ab0ba in terms of that Ravener squad and its usage. Howling Banshees trying to cap power, see the Raveners coming and are forced to retreat. Meanwhile, on the back end, ab0ba is recapturing his requisition and power and recapturing the middle as well as this kind of requisition point that is supposed to be more on Broodwich's side of the map. Broodwich pulling back out with the Warp Spyder Exarch. We have the Howling Banshees. Now with the aspect of strength, Warp Spyder Exarch, by the way, heavy gauge, death spinner, knockback, and additional damage. Really, really deadly against the Tyranids. I love Broodwich's positioning. He's got, I feel like it's very considered what he's got going on here with where his units are and how they're placed and spaced. He's forced ab0ba to attack into really bad engagements several times. Right now we've got the Raveners taking some pot shots at Howling Banshees. Lictor Alpha actually invisible and using that to his advantage. Suppression and the Howling Banshees Whale going off on the Raveners. Not great for them, but they managed to tunnel away and can continue dealing damage, forcing the... actually, they're not forced to retreat. There we go. Lictor Alpha not doing exactly what he wants to do. Weapon platform being chased away again. So really well done for ab0ba. Lictor Alpha off the field again. Warp Spyder Exarch still happy, able to teleport away if he's in danger. Raveners doing some melee, but there he goes and able to continue taking pot shots if he wants to. The Rangers are really far forward. It looks like they did some nasty stuff to some Hormagaunts? Yeah, Hormagaunts. Termagants and Raveners are chasing off these Rangers. They are in danger. That was unintentional, I promise. Warp Spyder Exarch, again, in the middle of the map, taking the central victory point. This has been a pretty big point of contention, I think, as the map designers intended, right? You've got some skirmish potential around the sides, but it's mostly focused on this one contested point in the middle. At least that's how this game has been playing out. Both players actually going for Tier 2 at basically the same time. We have anti-grav grenade for Broodwich. Lictor Alpha still no war gear at this time. Tier 3 immediately coming out from ab0ba, so he's got a plan and he is executing on it. Warp Spyder Exarch being caught again by ab0ba, by that Lictor Alpha. Impossible to really pin him down. Oh, we've got some power harass going on here with these Hormagaunts and Termagants. Great pull getting that Warp Spyder Exarch out of position. We have anti-grav grenade research for the Warp Spyder Exarch. I guess it had just been begun to be researched before. Howling Banshees being chased off again on the west side of the map. East side of the map, sorry. Right side of the map. Grav platform or Guardian Weapon team being pulled back again. It's very useful, but hard to, kind of line it up exactly where you want it to be. Power harass going on for ab0ba. Recapturing the center of the map going on for ab0ba. Recapturing this requisition point going on for ab0ba. Broodwich getting a Falcon out. We'll have to see what that does against the Tyranid Swarm. Tier 3 almost done for ab0ba. ab0ba doing really well right now. The map is really, really in his hands. He's a little bit behind in terms of VPs, but that's changing direction. Meanwhile, we have the Guardians who have been upgraded with their battle equipment. We have the Howling Banshees and the Guardian Weapon team out. Lictor pulling back sensibly to his army. Not yet turning around to try to... There we go. Nope. Anyway, we've got the Raveners coming in. This fight seems like it's really favoring the Eldar, and ab0ba immediately retreats with 2 of his 3 squads. The Raveners not retreating yet in case they can still get something done. Guardians taking a break from what they're doing to try to recapture this requisition squad, and there's the colorful Falcon with that kind of camo-ish stripey pattern. It's a zebra. Meanwhile, this is not going to make Broodwich very happy. We have a Carnifex coming out for ab0ba. Broodwich getting right at recapturing his lost requisition, and Falcon and these Howling Banshees doing some power harass. Already one generator cut down, and there's the armor around the power node gone as well. So that's not going to be great for long-term strategy for ab0ba. Raveners being forced to retreat by the Falcon. Lictor coming up to try to be annoying. Meanwhile, we have the Hormagaunts trying to come out and recapture some of the map, and there's the actually fairly hurt Rangers as well. Warp Spyder Exarch crossing the map. Now, anyway, back to the fight. Lictor Alpha forced to retreat. Termagants forced to retreat. Carnifex coming out onto the map, getting the Venom Cannon. That makes sense. It's a melee attacker, and it's got some light vehicles to deal with, so might as well get the Venom Cannon out there to try to get some ranged damage. Significant power damage done to poor ab0ba's primary power farm. We do have a little bit of the activated power node with some armor up. So pretty much all of ab0ba's stuff coming out right now is hurt. Guardian Weapon team does have the Bright Lance upgrade, so it gets a little bit of extra damage on Carnifex. Carnifex right now specialized for anti-vehicle and not melee anymore, thanks to the Venom Cannon removing AoE from its melee attack. So it's going to have to be protected by the rest of the army. Fortunately, these Raveners are doing God's work. We have a second Falcon out right now for Broodwich. Both Falcons actually very low on health, being forced to pull back. Lictor and the Raveners helping to take control of the middle of the map. Lictor regaining that central VP node. Meanwhile, Warp Spyder Exarch continuing to be a bit of a pain in the butt for the Tyranids, forcing yet another retreat. So this poor Carnifex is very low on health right now. It seems to be auto-healing itself fairly slowly. Broodwich continuing to come out and steal points from his opponent, giving himself some time to come recapture the center of the map. Guardian Weapon team with a good position. These Falcons are really hurt, so they have to be careful. Guardians doing their job, trying to heal them up. This one actually getting pretty close to being fine. Warp Spyder Exarch forced to retreat. So ab0ba's doing okay right now. His Carnifex healing up next to the Hive. Broodwich doing a good job with some overlapping fields of fire. This Falcon is healed up again and ready to tango. ab0ba being a bit dithery with his army movement. This doesn't seem to serve any purpose. This isn't StarCraft. You don't have to dance your army, dude. The third Falcon for Broodwich. Crazy. Falcon basically getting some free pot shots on this army. Carnifex almost getting into position, but the Falcon able to back away. ab0ba is slightly ahead in terms of VP. It's more or less even. The map is split about 50-50 at this point. So Lictor getting a really, really bad engage there, being taken out by the Falcons. We have a Wraithlord coming out for Broodwich, I assume, to try to take out this Carnifex. Carnifex getting focused down, basically. We also have the Hormigons back there, very, very low on health. Termagant's not going to be able to carry this on their own. Carnifex, realizing belatedly that it is in a bad position. It dies. That is bad. Venom Brood out trying to make something happen. Not able to do so yet. Running away. Only one model left. The Raveners actually are still okay. So, but yeah, losing the Carnifex is a terrible, terrible blow for ab0ba, as is losing his Lictor. That's tough to come back from. Wraithlord, and honestly, one of the Falcons is done, but that is it for ab0ba. So it was just, honestly, everything was pretty much okay until that disastrous attack into the middle of the Eldar forces, and they were able to hold it. It was just enough, and you know, there's no real coming back from that sort of a loss without any commensurate loss on the Eldar side. Wraithlord didn't even get to hit anybody with his sword. He feels cheated. I feel cheated too. I would have loved to see the Wraithlord face off against the Carnifex, but sadly it was not to be, because the Carnifex bought the farm before the Wraithlord even got to the front line. So yeah, really fun match. We got to see some insane Warp Spyder Exarch play. Lictor Alpha play, probably not quite as impressive. I don't think he ever got any war gear on the thing, by the way. I did miss this Venom Brood coming out. It got to do a little bit. I think it's what took out the one Falcon, if I remember correctly. But yeah. So anyway, this has been Wayward, and this was an action-packed, fun-filled Calderis Refinery brawl between Tyranid and Eldar. Overall, I think what it came down to mostly was toward the end game, ab0ba just started taking some really bad fights. He was attacking right into the overlapping preset firing arcs of Broodwich, which is exactly what Broodwich wanted, right? You know, I've got this concave here, and you just walk into it and, you know, obligingly die for me. And that's kind of what ab0ba did. If he had been able to kind of come around behind, we saw the Venom Brood pop up right in the middle. I think the Howling Banshees helped a little bit with that. The Raveners were doing okay, but yeah, it was just the overextension of the Carnifex, as well as just literally kind of walking into exactly where Broodwich wanted him to be on the map. So, yeah. I'm Wayward, and this has been Dawn of War 2 Elite Mod. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.